What's the deal, family? We're going to go ahead and jump right in because I got something to say. All right, so the title of this video is We Must Learn to Balance the Ego. Don't eradicate it. Now, getting into this video, I will say this, family. The ego is so heavy, but you only begin to realize that once you stop operating in it so much. Let me say that one more time. The ego is so heavy. It's a burden. It really is. Especially if you're operating it, especially if you're operating, can you speak? Are you going to get it out? Give me a second. I'm going to get it. I promise. Especially if you're used to operating in it so much, more often than not. It's heavy. But you only begin to realize that once you stop operating in it so much. Now, I will say this. In this world that we live in at this time, right here, right now, the ego can be useful. It definitely could be useful, but it's a time and a place though. I'll give you an example. Let's say you out and about with your family, your loved ones, and there's a threat to you and yours. That's when the ego is going to present itself, as it should. That's a time where the ego is necessary. Because at that moment, at that time, when there is a threat on the rise to you and yours, that very ego is going to be that reason why you and yours are protected, or the protection is there because the ego is what is going to allow you to do what you need to do to make sure that yourself and yours, your loved ones, are protected. So that is a perfect example of when the ego is necessary. Another example, because it's a various of examples. I'll give one more for that particular reason of where the ego is necessary. For those out there with children, with kids, maybe you got a daughter, right? Oh my God, right? You know, every dad's, I don't want to say it's not a worry, but it's like a, it's just one of those things. You got a daughter, that's your baby girl, right? So you want to make sure that she's good. But she's at that age where she's now beginning to date, and she has, her first boyfriend come through and for you to meet him, right? What's the first thing well, first off, before he get there, you're going to get to talk from your baby girl. Oh, daddy be nice. You're going to get that whole thing. So she's going to try to get you to bring it down a notch or two. But when he get there, you already know what type of time you're going to be on. You're going to be cool, right? You're going to be cool, but you're going to also make sure that he respects you and that he understands that he better be and must respect your daughter. But that's the ego. But again, that is necessary. That's a time where it's necessary. So there's definitely times, family, where the ego will be necessary. But there is times where you need to learn to, this is the balance that I'm talking about. This is the times where you want to make sure that you're not operating in that ego. Okay, we're going to use the example again of just like the family, or maybe you out with the friends, the homies, type thing, and you know, whatever the case may be, you with people that you love and that they supposed to love you back. Y'all out and about. So let's just say y'all out at dinner or on a cruise or at a family event, right? That's supposed to be a time where the ego don't exist. Or you just may be at the house with your family, your wife, your kids, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, right? These are people that love you and that you love. That's a time where the ego should not be in existence. It should. Now, don't get it twisted. It's always there, even when it's not, because you never know. Especially as a man, you got to always be ready, to do whatever is necessary for the situation at that time. But when you around your loved ones, when you should be, you, especially if you at home or you just in a family, you supposed to be able to be ego free. Supposed to be. That's a time where you should be able to kick up, excuse me, family. You're supposed to be able to kick up and relax. That's not a time that you should be ego tripping or even in your ego. And if you are, then you need to reassess what you're doing. The world is already what it is today, and I don't need to explain what's already understood. So when you around those of loved ones and things of that nature, that's a time where you should be able to be your 100% unapologetic, authentic self. And others should be able to be that around you. Right? So that's an example of, I gave 2 examples to where it's not necessary amongst, a various of others that you can come up off of those for yourself. And then I'm giving you one of where, you should be able to be ego free around those that you love. You should be able to be ego free around your homies. If you can't be, you don't got the right homies. You're not around the right people. That's what I'm saying. It'll really make you think. Because let me say this, family. This is the ego. Let me break it down. The ego is prideful. The ego is defensive. The ego is angry. You get what I'm telling you? That's the ego in a nutshell. Therefore, if you are constantly operating in that on a regular, you got to start to reassess, because you should start questioning things. Why am I always... And that's not really you. You should be able to be yourself around your homeboys, your homegirls, your family members. And if you can't, start reassessing things. Start reassessing things. It's that simple. Because the ego should be balanced. You should not be trapped in your ego 24/7, all day, every day. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be abundant. You should be being happy. A lot of the times, most of the time. Yeah, life is gonna life. But outside of that, you should be good. You should not be ego. It's too many times we get out here into the world and we think we got to automatically show up in the ego, which I get that. I get why. And maybe you do show up in it as a defensive mechanism. Remember, I said the ego is defensive amongst the other things. So maybe you got to show up like that in the world, but again, where you at? What are you doing? Who are you with? You control what you can control. Your environment should always be controlled. You should always be where you want to be. If you're not, maybe, your girl may have you off somewhere with her, and she wants you to go shopping. That's different. I'm just talking about being in control of your reality for the most part. You should only be around those you want to be around. Especially as a grown man, you don't got to go nowhere. You're not obligated to go anywhere you don't want to go. So we need to stop the ego tripping. It's not a good look. And it hinders you. It's a hindrance. You could be out being cool, meeting certain people, this and that, but you got that ego up like you Floyd Mayweather on the defense. Can't nobody even get through because you just be yourself. Those who rock with you for being yourself is going to be those that rock with you for real, in a real way. And those who don't, those are the ones that you don't want to be around. Because when you let that ego down, you able to be yourself and you bring in positive vibes and energy, people going to flock to that. But it's going to be a lot that hate that because they still got they Floyd Mayweather defense up. That Joe Frazier defense up. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think that defense is trash, by the way. I digress a bit, but you gonna get hit. If you coming forward like this and you got everything open, you getting hit. I don't know why he was ever smoking Joe, man. Shout out to him. But in a real way. I mean, he was cracking. He was hitting. He was, he was hitting things. So, he had that power, but yeah, that defense is trash. But yeah, you got that defense up, you missing opportunities. That ego is no good in most of life's things. You only need it when you need it. So, figure out how to create that balance, family. Use this video in the times of need where you kind of need to resort to examples to be able to be like, okay, that's when I need the ego there. Okay, yeah, let me stop. I'm tripping. I don't really need that right there. And then you find that balance. Find that balance. Like, share, and subscribe, family. That's all I got for you today. Until next time, let's elevate. Peace.